Welcome back, everyone. Now, if you've ever felt completely overwhelmed trying to map out a highly technical career in today's crazy, fast-moving tech landscape, you already know that a standard, boring one-page resume just doesn't cut it anymore. We need something better. So today, we're looking at something incredibly practical and highly structured. We're going to explore the Aegis Digital Skill Portfolio Binder, created by Jesse Campbell. Throughout this explainer, we'll walk through Jesse's portfolio, not just as a resume, but as this powerful, interconnected blueprint for the modern AI systems architect. Okay, let's dive right in by looking at Jesse's career mission. The guiding star here is super clear. It says, build adaptive AI systems and automation frameworks that enhance human learning and productivity. Now, this is a massive takeaway for us. In an era where, let's be honest, a lot of developers are building AI just for the sake of cool tech, grounding your entire professional architecture in elevating human output, that gives every tool and framework you build a clear, highly marketable purpose. It really isn't just about writing code, it's about intent. As you'll see, every single tool, framework, and system we're about to look at maps directly back to this one goal of elevating how we learn and produce. To understand exactly how an innovator structures their career to meet that kind of ambitious mission, we are going to unpack this portfolio binder like it's a meticulously designed system. Here is our agenda for this explainer. First, the AI systems architect. Second, growing the skill tree. Third, major automation projects. Fourth, the knowledge system concept. And finally, number 5, future career roadmap. Let's get right into it.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the AI Systems Architect. Let's look at his core identity and define those foundational strengths.
Notice how these 3 completely distinct roles blend together to form a unified, highly technical profile? Jesse doesn't just call himself a developer. No, he's an AI systems architect, an automation engineer, and a knowledge systems designer. It's basically the holy trinity of modern tech roles. Most professionals kind of plateau because they only focus on the engineering side of things. But here, an architect designs the big picture, the engineer actually builds the moving parts, and the knowledge systems designer ensures the data is genuinely usable by real people. It's this beautiful, complete pipeline that eliminates those frustrating bottlenecks that usually happen when handing off projects between different specialists. And supporting those roles are his core strengths: systems thinking, AI literacy, automation design, learning systems, and entrepreneurship. These literally act as the supporting pillars for everything Jesse builds. Think about it. If you want to build adaptive AI, you absolutely need AI literacy and automation design. But without systems thinking and entrepreneurship, well, those tools will never reach their full potential or even find a market. The tech world is full of brilliant engineers who simply can't sell their products or fit them into broader business operations. This beautifully balanced foundation solves that exact problem.
Moving right along to Section 2, growing the skill tree. Let's look at the actual source code of his career and how he visualizes his capabilities.
This table brilliantly illustrates how he separates his abilities into a highly structured skill tree. Under root skills, we find those foundational traits like systems thinking, learning agility, communication, and problem solving. These are the absolute non-negotiables, right? They're the roots that feed everything else. If the entire tech landscape shifts tomorrow, these roots ensure he can pivot without starting from zero. Then, right in the middle, we have the technical skills, the hard tech execution, like AI agents, automation, web development, knowledge management, and cloud fundamentals. Finally, the third column highlights business skills like entrepreneurship, product design, content creation, and strategy. Here's why this matters so much. By separating foundational traits from hard tech and business strategy, you ensure you aren't just a coder, but a product-minded creator. It shows perfectly how proficiencies support one another. If a technical skills suddenly becomes obsolete, no big deal. The root and business skills remain completely intact, ready to absorb whatever new technology comes next. Okay, let's pick up the pace and jump right into Section 3, major automation projects. We've seen the foundation, so let's check out the active programs built on top of that skill tree. What is truly fascinating here is how he treats his flagship project with the serious weight of an established industry framework. Juiced Up Omega is definitely not just a weekend side project. It is defined as a full-blown AI-native operating system. It's got specialized AI agents, streamlined workflows, and interconnected knowledge graphs. Instead of just building isolated little apps that do one thing, he's building a massive, overarching ecosystem designed to put all those root technical and business skills we just talked about into active, compounding practice. Building directly on that ecosystem, we have a specialized component called JuiceBot. This functions as his dedicated engine for learning automation.
Because let's face it, typing out raw prompts from scratch every single time is a massive time sink. Instead, JuiceBot acts as a streamlined interface, ensuring that the learning process isn't just effective, but highly automated and repeatable. In modern tech, having a prompt engine is an absolutely crucial layer. It takes the wildly unpredictable nature of interacting with large language models and basically turns it into a consistent, reliable mechanism for generating high-quality output every single time.
But wait, here is a really surprising twist. Jesse doesn't just keep everything in the cloud or stuck on a server somewhere. He actually translates his digital systems into the physical space with the Hustle Hack Deck. This is a massive 138-card gamified learning system. No way, right? It totally proves that a true systems architect understands human psychology. Sometimes to actually master digital automation, we need tactile tabletop engagement. Taking the cold, hard logic of digital automation and applying it to a physical deck of cards forces a completely different kind of strategic thinking. It makes the learning process truly tangible.
And finally, for his major projects, he pushes this entire architecture directly into the browser via a dedicated Chrome extension. If you've ever lost your train of thought while frantically switching between 5 different applications, you know exactly how valuable this is. Context switching is a massive drain on productivity. By building a browser-based automation and prompt execution engine, he ensures his systems are always right there at his fingertips. He can automate his daily workflows exactly where the work is actually happening, without ever having to leave his primary digital environment. It's a real game changer.
Moving right into Section 4, the knowledge system concept. Let's examine a highly specific, branded concept that's totally unique to his workflow.
This is where it gets incredibly cool. The JuicesBib concept proves his absolute mastery as a knowledge systems designer. It's a highly structured framework specifically created for indexing, AI, automation, business logic, and learning frameworks. Think about the sheer volume of data, prompts, research, and code an AI architect handles every single day. You simply cannot rely on messy desktop folders or a dozen random note-taking apps. You need a bespoke, strictly structured indexing system to keep that knowledge instantly retrievable. This framework is literally the glue that holds a digital brain together. When information is structured properly like this, it stops being just random data and becomes real, actionable intelligence.
And that brings us to our final section, number 5, Future Career Roadmap. Let's look at the future updates to his master plan and exactly where all this architecture is heading. Looking at how this builds, step by deliberate step, reveals a whole lot about his strategic foresight, planning 5 years ahead in an industry that seemingly changes entirely every 6 months. That requires extreme mental discipline. In the 1-year phase, the goal is laser-focused execution, build AI agent systems, deploy automation tools, and expand the portfolio. Moving to the 3-year mark, the focus shifts entirely from just building to actually scaling, launching AI platform products and scalable systems for broader use. And finally, the 5-year goal brings the whole shebang together, fully operating the complete juiced-up Omega AI systems architecture ecosystem. It's this perfect, realistic progression from deploying single automation tools in year 1 to running an entire interconnected digital universe by year 5.
Of course, an architect's work should be seen and explored. For those of you looking to dive into the code, review the active projects directly, or just connect with the creator, his digital footprint is fully connected across all these platforms. You can take your time and trace his systems via ejesse.com, explore the raw repositories over on GitHub, view his professional network on LinkedIn, and browse through the full digital portfolio.
So, what does this all mean for us? Well, the crucial point we should all take away from this explainer is that success in tech isn't just about listing a bunch of random skills on a piece of paper. It's about viewing your entire career as an interconnected system. Jesse Campbell shows us that by mapping our root skills, designing bespoke knowledge frameworks, and setting a precise multi-year roadmap, we can build a highly adaptive, bulletproof future for ourselves. Which leaves us with one incredibly important question to end on. Based on everything you've seen today, how are you architecting your own skill tree? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and as always, keep learning.